going to pass this over to Stacy because if you've come to our summits, you know that we do something that some of you have never heard about before. And that is the segment for Momagers. And there's a new thing that has been added onto, as we will say, the women's plethora of things, or plethora, depending on what country you're from, of things that we need to tend to, right? And when you have children or nieces or nephews or daughters or sons, that they too decide that they want to quest into the world of business, maybe at an age where they can't do it by themselves yet, or a skill level if they can't do it by themselves yet, then, momagers, danagers, anagers, uncleagers, they step in. And so we want to honor momagers and recognize that it does take a little extra. Does take a little extra. You get a little extra joy, but you get a little extra. And so I'm going to pass it over to Stacy because I'm going to get interviewed. Ocean's going to get interviewed. Alexa and her beautiful mom Shakara is going to get interviewed. And we're going to just share some of the backstories that happen when you decide to take this on. So Stacy, over to you.
It's joy for me to be the interviewer for the Momager panel. I would like to bring to the stage Alexa Janae from Precisely Me and her mom, Shakira Banks from Banks Investment Group. Let's bring on Alexa and Shakira with applause, everyone. And then, of course, we're also going to bring on Ocean Baker from Natsukashi Inc. Incorporated and his mom, Deborah Drummond from Mission Accepted Media. Yay! In the house. Okay, I'm going to change my view so that I can see all of you at the same time. Okie dokie. Let's go here. There we go. Much better for me. All right, my friends. We're going to start with Ocean. Ocean, raise your hands. We can all see you. There he is. All right. Now, Ocean, would you share with us what your company is and how did you get it started?
Yeah, so my company is called Natsukashi Inc. And what it is custom streetwear. I kind of like to say that it's wearable art because all my pieces are my original hand-drawn designs. So that's what I kind of say. It's like wearable custom art. And then how we got started was I wanted to do this since I was a kid to have my own brand. And from that passion, like making the steps each way. And when I finally got to age 15, mom, there's some things I wanted to go do in LA to learn how to make sneakers. And mom finally said yes. So then we went down to LA, learned how to make sneakers with a shoe surgeon, which was really amazing. And then from there, I learned how to make clothing back here in Vancouver, like from independent designers as well. So from the age of 15 to 19, I was learning all those steps that needs to be taken and how to actually make clothing and business plan and all of those, the fun part of it, really, of making a brand, which is a little bit more difficult. But and then at 19, I did my first launch at Dane Boots here in Vancouver, and that was my first ever. Like the website got released, everything on that day, so that was really, really amazing. And now I'm 22 now, and so it's been a long journey, and it's been really, really rewarding in ways, and opening new opportunities too.
Well, Ocean, I got to tell you, it's for you, I'm sure it feels like a long journey. I'm still, right, Carol? Got me. When I was 15, I was only thinking about boys. Just gonna say, I mean, business was not even a thing. So for you to get started at 15, and I appreciate that you had a fabulous mentor right there in your house. So what else, right? But
Hmm.
I can only imagine what you're going to accomplish in the next year, the next 5 years, the next 10 years. The world is so blessed that you're in it and are creative in the way you are. So, Alexa Janae, same question for you. What's your business about? How old were you when you got started? How'd you get started?
Well, my business is Precisely Me, and it's a cosmetic brand. And when I was younger, I've always loved creating and trying new things. I always loved makeup. That was for sure. And to the point where my mom, she would start buying me fake makeup toys to play with. And eventually I loved just creating new things, and she saw that in me, so we decided to create Precisely Me from there.
My goodness. So again, how old?
I was 6 years old.
Excuse me? How old?
I was 3 years old. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's you all caught that, right? Like, can we get some applause? I said Ocean 15 was impressive for me. I'm truly to know this. So we're going to be asking your mom some questions now. I feel like this is like the newlywed game, but different, right? All right. So, oh my goodness. Let's start with Deb. What's been the hardest and the coolest thing about being a momager?
Oh, wow. Well, you don't know it until you know it. And I think one of the hardest things, or one of the things that I had to navigate the most, I mean, pick your hard, right? I would say pick your hard. But one of the things that was we were up against is particularly as Ocean was starting to really build and it started to become serious and serious. I mean, you're back at that foundational piece of building a business. I happened to be building a business which was growing. So my company was in growth. His company was in foundational growth and is still in foundational growth. And we're still continuing to grow. So it's looking at, I have a chalkboard wall that I painted chalkboard, and I have his events and my events and his events and my events. And I think it's the dance between, I see Shakira's head's going, oh,
Yeah.
yes. So I think it's the dance between, and sometimes it's like you don't feel guilty, but for me, sometimes I'm like, oh man, if I just did that over there, or I just did this over here, and it's it's like that pretty well every single day. And so the how a lot of us wear a lot of hats. Well, sometimes I'm wearing Ocean's hat, sometimes I'm wearing my hat. And I think it's that dance and just trying to make sure that you do both justice. And honestly, I think the coolest thing is I feel really, really fortunate that my son entrusts in me. Some, he's 22, right? And so sometimes people don't have their kids entrusting in them, the way that I feel that we have this part of a relationship. It doesn't mean we don't come up against each other or bump sometimes. I mean, look at us, we're both bullheaded. So we're going to bump sometimes, but at the core of it, we both really know. And I have this kind of like nothing, like this company doesn't mean anything compared to where we're at. And so I'm watching him. So he said he started at 12. And then that time between 15 to 19, let's face it, there was things that he had to learn that was not his natural skill to go over, social media campaigns and spreadsheets and those kind of things. But I have watched him become a business owner. Right. And I always say to momagers or, that you're out there, it's like, just remember, by nature, as the mom, I felt I knew what was right because I'd been on the planet a few more years. But when you're in business with somebody, you're not always right. Not if they're your kid, not if it's your partner. And you have to allow for each person's gift. I think we know our rhythm and who does what. So the coolest thing is watching Ocean own his craft, own his business, delegate and make decisions, and really turning into someone who's a mature business man, you know? Yeah. I mean, 12 to 22, it's a big gap. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And what I love what you just said is that that's like the line where you stop being parent and you allow the person with the mission and purpose of the business, no matter how old they are or how related they are to you, to know that that's their business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can appreciate that very much. All right, Shakira, I'm going to ask you the same thing, right? So, what's been maybe the hardest part and also the coolest part for you about being a momager?
So I think the hardest part for me is sometimes separating or even allowing myself to realize that I am mom and I am like her business manager per se. Sometimes I kind of am mom too much on the business side, or sometimes I'm not mom enough on our personal side. So I had to learn to kind of make the distinction between the two. And just like Deb said, allowing your child to make those decisions now as basically your business partner. And I think another one of the challenges is making sure I maintain her schedule, because essentially I pretty much work for her at this point. I'm like her everything to see that her business is successful, just juggling everything with our home life and her being in cheer and her academics and things like that, and just staying on top of all of it. But we have found different ways to overcome those hurdles, like the chalkboard wall. I have two different acrylic calendars in our office, and they're loaded more with things from her business than mine. And I'm okay with that because my whole goal is to invest in and pour in more into her and her business and just kind of take the back seat with the things that I had going on. So that was probably one of more of the harder things that I had to learn to overcome. And I guess the coolest part about it is I'm her mom, and I get to hold that title to see that she flourishes and everything takes off the way that we kind of envision it, and just make sure I keep her on track. And it's great because we've been presented so many different opportunities, and I get to see it firsthand behind the scenes. And going from, as she said, at the age of 3, when I kind of recognized that she was a very peculiar child and this is something that we could run with. I just feel blessed and fortunate to be able to say that I'm the mom and not just, her business partner per se.
Yeah, I would love to learn more. When we have more time, I would love
Yes,
to know
ma'am.
more how you knew that it was something for her to go into business at that point and not
Yes.
just a child playing with makeup,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah. All right. Ocean, back to you. What was one thing you've learned through your business that completely surprised you?
Well, there's many things that I've learned throughout the start to now. Like business plans and something like that, like was quite surprising. People really actually really gravitating towards our clothing and pieces. That's something I thought was quite surprising was when we had people who lived out of town. We were at this Japan market, and the guy, the first couple people get like this little like $10 voucher or whatever. But he specifically came to see us because he saw it on our Instagram page and on their website, the Japan market, and he lives like an hour out of town. And so this started like, well, I think it started like at 8:30 in the morning. So he like woke up probably like 6 or something and come to see us. That's something I kind of thought was quite surprising, how somebody can be like not even know me and like be that kind of dedicated to come see us specifically. That kind of threw me off, and seeing people like on the street wear your clothing without even you knowing them. Like I never talk to them. I always just like take a photo from a distance. So I just that's the coolest thing. That's something that I think generally like surprised me throughout this way of like people really actually like enjoying what we're doing.
Mhm.
It's what it's got to be the best feeling in the world to meet raving fans, see raving fans, and to know that
Mhm.
what you've created is making people happy. So, Ocean, thanks for sharing that with us. Alexa, I'm going to ask you the same question. You've been in business for a number of years now. What has been most surprising to you?
I would say exactly the same thing. When I have my friends, and I'll wear my makeup for my cheer competitions, or I'll wear it just for every day sometimes. And when I have my friends say, "Oh, can I use this because I really like it?" Or they'll say, "Oh, your product looks so cute." Like anything like that, it really surprises me. to know that kids my age even they like my products and they love how it smells or how it feels on them. And I think that really surprised me because I just I think that when I think of makeup, I usually think of maybe for older people, but when I see people my age saying that it's good, I really love that.
It's very similar for both of you that you were surprised that people love what you love. What you love to create, people also love. And to me, that is a true confirmation that you were truly designed and brought into this world to do this. All right, moms, you're back in the hot seat. Deb, going to start with you. All right. What's one thing you've learned about being a momager that you really want others to know?
Look, if you're going to venture into the world of being a momager, first of all, I think me and Shakira, me and you, we have to have like we got to start a club or something because there's things that you're going to want to share. It's a it's kind of like when you're raising your kids, there's a certain kind of fatigue or certain kind of stretch that happens that is worth it.
Right.
You love these, you love these kids. But I think that I would say make sure that you have your table of people that you can call on. Like, they always say it takes a village. I would say that for me, I didn't really have that village raising my kids, but I have that village now. And I see a lot of those people in that village here today. So when I need someone to talk to, when I'm feeling stretched, when I want to support Ocean, like Liz is here and Carol's here, Kathy and Melissa and everyone that's cheered him on from the sidelines or cheered him on through me. Or I think for me, it's been seeing the village support. Like when we go, Ocean has been at the Oscars and Emmys, and I know that these two have as well, but it's like we go down as a crew. And that Ocean's part of the crew and the crew is part of that. And we have those great conversations. It's been really important for me, I think, in having this to make sure that you have people that they may not be experiencing it, but look, we're all old, we're old enough to know that this is going to take a little bit of a stretch. That's one thing. The other thing that I would say is that, if you don't have a little bit of business experience, go to someone trusted who's in that same spot. I've always said it. Don't go to your bank teller and ask for marital advice. Like go to another momager. There's nothing more that knows a little bit more about business than you. Join in and learn the business together. I mean, I didn't know about streetwear, right? I knew about this and what's applicable. So there's things that I had to go and learn as well. So I would say that it's a learning curve. And you know what? Ocean didn't launch from the time he was 15 to 19 because I was putting, I was taking care of the family and taking care of this. So he could have probably launched a little earlier, but we had to have that patience and do it together. So they've got lots of time. I know sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to take care of this opportunity right now. And right now they have times, and so I'd say just be patient. Ocean will talk to you about patience any day. He had to be patient. We had to be patient, had to learn skills, even though I had skills. Get yourself a community because it's a different kind of stretch. And it can be highly, highly bonding. I am so grateful that we're doing this together. And just like, you're hearing Shakara talk about how, you put some of your stuff aside. Like, you're like, I could take my business in that direction, or I could put myself on that podcast, or I could put myself on that stage, but instead you put them. And it's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
It's beautiful the way you speak about it. And I'm wondering, I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh.
Probably not a good idea. But I'm just going to say, I think at some point you might actually start that Momagers Club.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know. It's not on top of the list. It's just on the list.
It's on the list.
Yeah.
Right, Shakira, I'm asking you the same thing. Through all of your experience as a successful momager, what do you feel you've learned that is really important for other momagers to know, do, implement?
I'm gonna piggyback off Deb again and just stress the importance and the tribe, the village, your group, your support circles is absolutely imperative because it does get really draining sometimes if we just think about ourselves. building our own brands, or for some people who are still in the 9 to 5 workforce, you understand like the demand to be successful and to take on the challenge of helping someone else build their brand from scratch. And you need those people around, because when, like you said, when you're tired, you're going to need someone to keep you picked up. And it's not just you that you have to, more or less, like I'd have to keep Alexa, but someone has to hold me up, because at times I'm overwhelmed or I'm busy, or I just need like a second person to help me think, or just to take the load off. And I think that people have to really understand, like, it's okay to allow someone else to help you. And that's something that I learned uh, probably the hard way, because initially, when I launched her brand, I was so like, oh no, this is my daughter's brand and I'm going to do it. And just, it's like the OCD part of you where you want to control every single thing, and you don't want to give people even a little bit to kind of step in because of the perfectionist in you. But as I've grown and, pretty much missed out on some opportunities doing that, honestly, I had to learn, like, it's okay to have someone else to come on and at least do the content, and you can trust that they'll help with her social media, or to get behind the scenes and help with maybe financing and things like that, because you're afraid for the most part to let go of the control. And I had to learn that it's okay, that if someone else comes in, it's actually going to make your life so much easier, and it'll help your business project a lot faster, a lot sooner. You'll get there a lot quicker, because I was pretty much standing in my own way, which basically was hindering my daughter's growth as far as a business owner. So I had to learn to like step back and do whatever I can do, and then start delegating other assignments to other people.
I guess I could be a momager, although I didn't birth any children, because I had to learn the same lesson. Who
Yes.
else? Drop in the chat, everyone. Just put a yes if you could like really relate to what Shakira just said.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
agree with you, Deb. I mean, a few times I actually thought about starting a Momagers Club, because it is something that a lot of people need to understand, and not just think like, oh, my child is a star and this is what it takes. But it really takes a whole lot more than that, than you just having that title.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, to the four of you, I understand you're all going to the live event, the Oscars watch party in LA, right, Deb?
Yes.
And those who are
Yes.
going with them are going to get a special, special gift. I don't know if you're revealing that now or you're going to keep it a secret to their. Yes, Deb, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so both Ocean and myself, and also Shakira and Alexa, are going to be at the gifting suite for the Oscars. And so if anyone is also braving up to come down, Alexa has a gift of obviously beautiful products for your skin, and Ocean has a beautiful Natsukashi merch gift bag. And also, if you are coming to the March 15th event, I don't know if Alexa and Shakira are coming. I know that we talked about it, and I hope you are. You're shaking your head, yes.
Yeah, we'll
So
be
anyone
there.
here today that gets to hear that also receives a gift from these two incredible children. Like, aren't they like incredible? Isn't
Yes.
this new world, isn't it just
Yes.
accessible? I mean, it's just, accessibility with some good leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And absolutely. Can we applaud first the momagers who
Yay.
I'm gonna applaud you, Shakira.
saw the potential within their children and didn't let that like they didn't let the relationship cloud the possibilities. And
Mhm.
can we also now applaud Ocean and Alexa
Yay.
for allowing their moms to be their business managers, because they made a very smart decision in that
Mhm.
particular case.